Hi, everybody. Thank you very much. I always appreciate you. Welcome to another classic movie review. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. This is my review of a classic biopic historical epic film drama from 1962 from director David Lean, who directed movies like A Passage to India, Dr. Zhivago, The Bridge on the River Kwai, some of the greatest films of all time, including this one from 1962, Lawrence of Arabia. Every actor that is in this film that is a part of the main cast are all screen legends. Not only do we have Peter O'Toole in the role of Thomas Edward Lawrence, but we also got the great Anthony Quinn as Aura Abu Tayi. You also have the great Alec Guinness, that's right, Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, in the role of Prince Faisal. You also have the great Omar Sharif as Sheriff Ali, and you even have the great Claude Rains as Mr. Dryden. Now, for those of you out there that enjoy a good biopic, Hollywood, epic drama type of movie, I do think this movie will scratch that itch since this is one of the best movies of that kind. However, I gotta say, this is one of the longest freaking movies. It's like 3 hours and 45 minutes long. That's with the intermission, with the overture at the beginning. So, if you watch this, at home, just skip the overture. Press the skip button if you have the disc, or if you're streaming it, you can fast forward the overture and fast forward the intermission because who needs to sit through that music with just the blank screen, right? But yeah, after you skip that stuff, you get right to the movie, and when the movie begins, it basically starts with how the life of our main character ends. We get to see him die at the very beginning. And then we see his funeral where we see a bunch of people kind of talking about him a bit. As soon as the movie goes into flashback story mode and we see our main character, T.E. Lawrence, go into his superior's office for a little interview for a new assignment, there's a lot that we learn about this character in just this one scene. We see that his superiors kind of view him as an unconventional kind of officer in the British Army. He's a bit dainty, he's a bit effeminate, a bit on the flamboyant side. He's definitely very egotistical, but very, very intelligent, says he is a very educated and articulate scholar type of guy. Although the British government sent Thomas over to help out with the Arab Revolt, they really don't want him to do much except make assessments and report back. But ultimately, they don't really want him to rock the boat too much. But that's not how it goes. At first, it doesn't seem like Thomas and Sheriff Ali, Omar Sharif's character, are going to get along all that well, especially after Sheriff Ali has just killed the guy that was going to get Thomas to Prince Faisal, played by Sir Alec Guinness, who is the leader of the Arab Revolt. Sheriff Ali underestimates Thomas quite a bit when he toys around with him by taking away his compass for a moment in kind of a dick move, but in an act of mercy, he gives it back to him since it's pretty much all he has, and so he leaves him there for dead, thinking he might not ever see him again. But to his surprise, and to a lot of people's surprise, Thomas ends up finding the settlement where all the Arabs are and where Prince Faisal is, and so just by doing that alone is very impressive. Thomas displays a determination that is unwavering in his efforts to help the Arab people in their fight against the Turks. He's very eloquent, very persuasive, and because of that, he's able to convince the prince and Sheriff Ali to take risks that end up paying off. And because they pay off, in the end, they end up respecting Thomas all the more. The more success that the Arabs have in their fight against the Turks with the help of Thomas, the more that they embrace Thomas as one of their own. And eventually Thomas kind of assimilates their ways a little bit and kind of gets into their culture a bit more. And then you got the battle scenes in the film, which are still very impressive to this day. Huge scope and scale with thousands of extras on horseback with swords and rifles in the blazing sun, riding through the hot dunes, and just the amount of extras that you see in the frame can be overwhelming when you think about the logistics of how it was filmed. And speaking on the subject of violence, the film also depicts our main character going through his own personal internal struggle with the very idea of taking a life. And when he crosses that line and there's no turning back, it kind of messes with his head. He gets a bit of a bloodlust, which he's kind of ashamed to admit. And then he's kind of worried that he might not be fit to lead. And so he kind of questions coming back to the fray. But eventually, when he does, he's basically, all gung ho. But then something happens to him when he gets captured by some Turks and he gets whipped like really bad. And that messes with his head too. And by the way, just throwing it out there, like a lot of Hollywood biopics, this movie is not 100% accurate to the real events. There are a lot of scholars and a lot of people that will tell you that there are a lot of things in this movie that are not accurate to history. However, when I watch a movie like this, I don't really care. If it's a good movie, that's all that matters. And you know what? Lawrence of Arabia is a great movie. This is a great story. It is epic in every sense of the word. The performances in this film are amazing by all the actors involved. You have a classic, sweeping Hollywood score that is one of the most memorable scores in film history. You have top tier filmmaking from David Lean, next level filmmaking, by the way. And this is one of the greatest experiences, not just a great film, but one of the great movie experiences you can ever have. Lawrence of Arabia from 1962 is a classic masterpiece. Four-star gem. I'm sure this movie can be found on one of the many streaming services that they have out there, but if you want to get yourself a hard copy, look online. Maybe you can come up on a DVD or Blu-ray. This is my copy of the film on DVD. As you can see there, you got Peter O'Toole on the cover. Lawrence of Arabia, 1962, winner of the Academy Award for Best Picture of that year. One of the greatest films of all time. Highly recommend if you're into epics. Check this one out. You won't be disappointed. Great film. Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I very much appreciate it. If you're into the classics, if you're into movies, and if you're new to the channel, hit the bell, become a subscriber. Please don't forget to comment, share, like, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. Everybody take care of each other. Till next time, peace out and God bless.